Hello everyone, I am Erika of Beadingschool.com and you are watching No One Has to Bead Alone, my weekly open beading workshop. Today we are going to bead one of the most meaningful jewels for the Beading School community. I wanted to choose something super beautiful and something that stands for one of the values that we represent for the beginning of 2025. And what else could it be than crossing borders? But I will tell you more about the story, and I will tell you more about how it got its name a little bit later. First, please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. I see Rita, I see Irma, Molly, Susanna. Susanna says, hello everyone and Happy New Year. Indeed, Happy New Year everyone of the Beading School beaders and beyond, your loved ones, your families, your friends. I wish you all the best for 2025 and may your bead mats be sparkly and may your lives filled with friendships and happiness and abundance. I would also like to greet Rachel, Angelica, Georgina, Sherry, Antoinette, Gapamu, Asta, Malia, Marcy. Marcy says, we can see and hear you on Facebook. Jennifer is here. Hannah from Iceland. That was one of the new countries, by the way, that were added on our beloved list. That where do we make bead mats shiny in 2024. So hello Hannah. When I saw that we are going to send a package to Iceland, then it really made me happy. I love it. I love traveling, and then I have a guilty pleasure when I see that beading school packages are traveling to exciting places too. Yosin is here. And Georgina says she still doesn't have November's beadbox. Dear Georgina, please send us an email and please mark it in the subject line that it's urgent and important, and we will look into it very, very soon. Anita is also here. I hope that it reaches you very soon. And Anita is also here. Jill, Miriam, Terry, Lizette, Lutka, Erika, Martine, Maya. And indeed, doing a bead map is really on my to-do list for years already, and I hope that I can get to it soon. So lovelies, today we are going to bead crossing borders. And Gapamu says, as every video, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. And Gapamu, you are the best. And thank you so much for reminding everyone. And lovely beaders, I would like to ask you kindly, please indeed hit the like button. Please indeed share the video, share the news about Beading School. We really, really appreciate it, and it means so much to us. So today we are going to bead the Crossing Borders tutorial. It is a retro No One Has to Bead Alone pattern, so it means that we beaded it already a few years ago, but it is really nice to return to older tutorials from time to time. On one hand, for new beaders, this is a great opportunity to get something into the spotlight that maybe they haven't noticed between all the tutorials. There are now more than 500 tutorials available at beadingschool.com. So it is indeed a big task to know each and all of them. And you can see the QR code on the screen where you can download the PDF tutorial. You can You can save the PDF tutorial to your computer. It helps you during the workshop. You can print it, you can bead it later. So it's really a useful tool on your beading journey. And you can find it at 𝐿1HAS2BEADALONE.com or beadingschool.com/𝐿1HAS2BEADALONE/ or simply navigate to beadingschool.com and then click on 𝐿1HAS2BEADALONE in the main menu. I started with the 𝐿1HAS2BEADALONE lessons when COVID started. And this was my social contribution to ease social distancing, as mental health is, for personal reasons, a very important topic for me. And as the community grew steady and strong, then I saw that this indeed has a value for you, dear beaders. So I kept going, and still, since the very beginning, it works in the same way. So when we have the workshop, then starting with that day, you can download the tutorial in 2 ways. And one is I am sharing the screen, so you see Irma says that on the phone it's not possible to scan the code. So indeed, visit please beadingschool.com and click on 𝐿1HAS2BEADALONE in the main menu. Angelica says that it's necessary to be logged in for the link to work. Thank you so much, Angelica, for that. And yeah, back to the tutorial. So since this is my social contribution, then there are 2 ways how you can download the tutorial. You can support the broadcast by clicking the pink button, and then it puts the tutorial to your shopping cart, and you can check out with it through the Bead shop. And we really appreciate if you do that. Or you can download the tutorial as a gift from us, and that option is valid for 3 days, starting always 1 hour before the workshop. So you can type in your email address and then click the send button, and it will arrive in a few minutes to your inbox. If there is any problem, then first please check your spam, maybe it lands there. And if it doesn't, then please, within the 3 days, send a message to info@beadingschool.com so we can help you. And if we see that you tried to download the tutorial within the 3 days when it was available as a gift, we see that from the time when you sent the email, then on the next working day, on Friday or Monday, we will help you out with it. So thank you so much for listening to this information. And in the meanwhile, also lots of other beaders joined us to enjoy the first 𝐿1HAS2BEADALONE of the year. Manuela is here, Sophie is here, Elena, Tanja is here, Malka, Sharon, Kimberly, Miriam. And Miriam says, I am very happy about this retro pattern. I haven't beaded it yet. Then this is the perfect time, Miriam. It's a really good one, an oldie. Marta, Kristen, Joyce, Bernadette, Irma, Corinne, Christy, Beatrix, Merle, and Merle is indeed a new beader in the group, so please everyone say hi to Merle. And dear Merle, please don't hesitate to ask questions and ask for help in the Beading School Club. We are there for you. So all your fellow beaders and of course the Beading School team will do our best to help you if you have a question. Wilhelmine, Rachel, Angelina are also here. So back to the inspiration and the possibilities what you can discover with the Crossing Borders tutorial. I told you that I wanted to choose a design that is somehow meaningful for the Beading School community. And indeed, the name Crossing Borders, it was chosen by a fellow beader, a dear friend and member of the Beading School Club. So her name is Tanja. She's actually here with us all, and this feels so very special. Tanja says about the earrings. When I saw the earrings, I thought the name should be something with a cross, and the name Crossing Borders came to me. I thought that was a beautiful name for the earrings, especially because of the symbolism behind it. Every Tuesday and Thursday, fans of Erika's designs come together to chat, laugh, and bead. We all come from different countries and cross borders every week to be together. And dear Tanja, thank you so very much for putting together your thoughts this beautifully. And you know, when somebody asks me that what do I do, what do we do at Beading School, then it would be so simple to answer that, yeah, we sell beads. But actually, I am not looking at it like that. In my opinion, we create sparkly happiness, and we bring beaders together and create a like-minded and supportive community. So that's what Crossing Borders stands for. And we didn't have any homework for today, but still I would like to encourage you to visit the gift tutorials at beadingschool.com. Maybe you will have a little bit of extra time during the weekend after beading Crossing Borders, because it is a fast and really satisfying design. So if you need some creative inspiration for the beginning of the year, then you can find here the gift tutorials. And I will also put the link in a comment. So also those of our beaders who are watching from their phones can easily find the link. And I would also like to recommend some extra education, beady education connected to Crossing Borders. Actually, we beaded this. Oh, now I see. We beaded it in 2021. So 4 years ago. And it is when Pantone's year of the color, it was actually a color combination, yellow and gray. And this was something that I absolutely loved. Yellow, it stands for optimism, and gray stands for strength. And this was something that really resonated and keeps resonating with me. So actually, back then we had a little challenge over the holidays when we invited our dear beaders to create something in this color combination. And here I have an article. It was put together by Susie. And here you see jewels beaded by our dear beaders who embraced the challenge. So this is from Sarah. This is actually Tanya's. This is Aniko. This is Kata, Vania, Ula, Mektab, Annalene, and this is from Susie. So I really recommend looking back at these jewels. This is a color combination that might not be as easy to embrace for everyone as something with turquoise, for example, but I think it's really nice to give it a go. And another piece of beady education that I would like to recommend to look into. So after I beaded the basic version of crossing borders, then actually I kept playing, and now I'm looking for how the extended jewel. Okay, this is such a not nice picture about me, but anyway, so I kept playing with the motif, and I created an extended version with a brooch. And even if it is a simple design, then I was actually like analyzing it a lot, that why did I choose this brooch base, why did I choose this drop. So maybe it is nice to listen to, just to learn about it, that how I am thinking when I am creating a design. And by that you can also internalize those thoughts, reflect on those thoughts, and come up with your own way of thinking about designs. So this was the second link that I posted, variations of the crossing borders motif. And indeed, this was a design that I created. So in case that you would like to look into more tutorials by me, then this is it. And now finally, let's look at the material list, what you will need for today's crossing borders. So you will need quarter Tila beads, you will need half Tila beads, you will need 2mm round pearls, gem duos or diamond duos. You will need something, if you want to, then you will need something to hang at the bottom. It can be a dagger bead, it can be a preciosa drop, it can be a glass drop in metal setting. There are many possibilities. You can, but don't have to hang something at the bottom. You will need two types of seed beads for this, size 15 𝐂𝐂𝐓 round seed beads, and also size 11 �W𝐀𝐓𝐄𝐑𝐄 cylinder-shaped beads. Everything is, of course, available at beadingschool.com in our bead shop, and we greatly appreciate it if you trust us with your sparkly bead orders, and we can make your beady wishes come true. As you might know, every business will need to do an inventory check at the beginning of the year. We also do that to assure that the stock levels in the bead shop are correct. And actually, this is a bit of an egoistic thing. We want to empty the treasury before the inventory check as much as possible. So we created a coupon code, SNOW, that gives you 12% off nearly everything in the bead shop. There are some exceptions, but most of the stuff that you see there are included. Academy boxes, already discounted items, special items, and other collections are not included, for example. Also vintage is not included, for example. And it's valid until the 7th of January, 5 p.m. Central European Time, 11 a.m. New York City, 8 a.m. California, or 5 a.m. New Zealand. So you can pick up everything in many, many, many different colors in the Beading School bead shop. And Rachel is asking, can the coupon code be used more than once per person? Yes, indeed, dear Rachel. You can place as many orders as you would like to. And tutorials and ebooks are also included, for example. I also strongly recommend checking out what's new in the bead shop. I will post the link to see what's new, because even today, my dear colleagues in the team, they added, for example, Pacific Opal AB cabochons, filigree rings, and we also have there, of course, the abundance bags for 2025 that give you a mystery collection with 50% off. So that's it. and let's get started. Lovely ladies, do you have any questions about the material that you need for the crossing borders? And if you have different questions, then I would like to kindly ask you to wait until the very end. Let's now focus on crossing borders, and then at the very end of the video, I will be here for you to answer all the questions that you have. In the meanwhile, also, Lita joined us, Melissa. Miriam says that today she picked up some abundance bags. Thank you, Miriam. So well done. And if there are no questions, then let's get started. I will start with some quarter Tila beads and with some half Tila beads. Actually, I'm going to join 3 beads into one for this. You could also, oh, Sarah is here also. Hi, Sarah. So you could also use 4 pieces of full Tila beads for this part, but you can also make it indeed into this flag shaped, into this pattern reminding us of a flag by combining quarter tilas and half tilas to each other. So to do that, I pick up a quarter tila, a half tila, and another quarter tila on my beading needle. And I join them together by beading in the opposite direction through the open holes, and then again I bead through the first holes of the 3 beads. So the 2 quarters and the 1 half tila in the middle, they are exactly the size of a full tila bead, so that's why you can you can choose if you want a full tila or if you want the combination of these 3 beads together. And you need to do this 4 times all together. I have my first one. So now I will pick up again quarter tila, half tila, quarter tila. First, I pull my whole thread, and of course, sorry, I forgot to say, but as always, I am using Fireline and my tulip beading needle. So I pulled my whole thread through the first hole. Now I bead in the opposite direction through the second holes. And then I bead through the first holes again. And I gently pull my fire line, so the full tila sized combinations are next to each other without thread showing, just as much thread. So when I turn them into 90 degrees from each other, then they are not sliding on top of each other, but are nicely next to each other. And now for the third time, quarter tila, half tila, quarter tila. And often, by the way, I get the question, if I am attentive to the bumps on the Tila Family beads, and I like to be attentive, but some colors are not so obvious that which side is the bumpy side. And when it's not so obvious, then it's also not going to be so obvious when you are wearing the jewels. So when you look at them and you see the bump, then I am attentive, but when I look at them and I actually don't see the bump, then I don't care that much. But mostly I do. And again, fourth time, quarter, half, quarter. And by the way, I think I saw this solution of combining different sizes of the Tila family into a full Tila bead from Kata. So I would like to thank her for this idea. And Angelina says, in the meanwhile, I really love surprise beading bags, so had to grab a fuchsia one. And Cosima joined us. So I'm now creating the last fourth full Tila-sized group. And let's see what's happening in the next step. So I will bead one more time, actually, through all the kind of full Tilas to join them into a circle. And since this tutorial I designed it 4 years ago, then there are some minor differences how I prefer to do my beading these days. So this is one of them, that I like to make a super sturdy base. So that's why I am beading through everything one more time instead of just beading through the very first unit. Also, if you downloaded the PDF, then you see that it is done in a different style. So it is because it was done 4 years ago. And now I will add 4 quarter Tila beads in between the Tila-sized units. So my thread is still hanging from the inside first hole of the Tila-sized unit. I pick up a quarter Tila and then I bead through the next Tila-sized unit. And I keep saying Tila-sized unit because you can use 2 half Tilas. You can use the same as I do, quarter, half, quarter, but you can actually also just go for a full Tila bead. So that's completely up to you. Just trying or not, as I did. Okay, I managed to untie it, and let's progress. So after every unit, I pick up a quarter Tila bead, and then I bead through the next one, the next unit. Yay, Anna is here and she says, love your colors. Start the year with turquoise. Thank you, dear Anna. Oh my God, and Kristen says, my doorbell just rang. Advent box 1 and 2. That's amazing. That's really, really, really amazing. And I bead it through the 4th one without adding a quarter Tila. So I need to go back, pick up a quarter Tila, and then I bead through the next Tila-sized unit. So this is how it looks like. And luckily I was already doing this trick 4 years back, that I start the next step from the second new bead instead of the first one. So I am beading through the second quarter till I added, and to get in position for step number 3, I turn to the opposite direction by beading through the quarter Tila's second open hole. So this is how it looks like at the moment. Lovely beaders, can you please tell me, how is it going? So, is it going well for you? And are you using full Tila beads? Are you using combinations of Tila families? And if there are no questions, then let's see what's happening in step 3. In step 3, Anna, you will like this, more turquoise. So I'm adding turquoise 2mm round pearls in combination with of size 15 Miyuki round seed beads. So I'm exiting the outside hole of a quarter Tila, and I pick up a size 15 and a 2mm round pearl. I bead through the outside hole of the Tila size unit, and then I pick up the 2mm round pearl and the size 15, and I bead through the outside hole of the quarter Tila. And I will repeat this all around. So it's always a combination of size 15 and 2mm round pearl. And the size 15 is next to the quarter Tila, and the 2mm pearl is next to the Tila size unit. So it's easy to remember because the quarter Tila is the small and the size 15 is the small, and the Tila size unit is the bigger, and the 2mm round pearl is the bigger. So that's how you can remember that when you are next to a quarter Tila, then you need first a size 15. And Miriam says that she's using a combination of the Tila family beads to get the shape. What kind of colors are you using, dear Miriam? And everyone, please share. I'm curious of your creations, so also please keep sharing your work in progress pictures and your finished jewels in the Beading School Club. I'm beading all around, adding the combinations of 2mm pearls and size 15s. With the 2mm pearls, it's really important to use the right size because there are actually 2mm pearls and 2.5mm pearls, and it can be tricky. But these are, if you have both of them, these are the smaller ones. And after adding the last unit, and indeed this might be a tiny bit bigger than what I wanted, but I need it. And I also made a mistake with the order of the beads. So next to the Tila size unit, I need the 2mm pearl. Big goes next to big, small goes next to small. I said it's easy to remember, but it's also easy to make mistakes, as I just demonstrated. Angelika also says that she made a mistake of adding 5 groups, and that happens also so easily. And Tanja is beading in her head with purple and fuchsia. Oh my god, Tanja, that must be like someone should bead Tanya's idea, actually. Do we have a volunteer? Fuchsia is great. And Miriam answered in the meanwhile. She's using Labrador, very dark gray, and as a second color of the half Tila's crystal lemon rainbow leftovers. Ariana is in box mode, so she's working with black, gold, and silver. Lita is also with black and gold. She's in love with the celestial lantern colors. Ooh, and she's planning to join 2 motifs and slip a Rivoli inside. I'm talking so much today, ladies. So let's progress. Let's make a bit of progress. By the way, I could fix the size of my 2mm purse. It was just a bit of gentle tapping. So it's fine now. And I want to finish by exiting a size 15 seed bead with my thread hanging towards a quarter Tila. So since there are size 15 seed beads in 2 different positions before and after the quarter Tila, then make sure that you finish step 3 by exiting a size 15 hanging that is before the quarter Tila, and your thread is hanging towards the quarter Tila. Angelika is using Patina Iris Green, Bronze, and Dusty Orchid. And Sarah is happy to see Tanja. In the next step, we are also adding some gem duo beads and some more seed beads. We will need size 15s and we will also need size 11 𝐂𝐂𝐓𝐄𝐑𝐄 beads. So exiting the size 15, I create a picot from 𝐷𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 size 15 𝐷𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿, and then I bead, and here be gentle, dear ladies, with the 2mm pearls. So I bead through the size 15 and the 2mm pearl to create the corner, and then I pick up 𝐷𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 and gem duo. I pull my thread through the gem duo entirely. I bead back through the second hole of the gem duo. I pick up a 𝐂𝐂𝐓𝐄𝐑𝐄, and then I bead through the 2mm round pearl and the size 15 after the Tila sized unit. So this is what I'm going to do 3 more times. So always on the corner between the two size 15s, I add 𝐷𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿, size 15 𝐷𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿. I bead through the size 15 and the 2mm pearl. And then between the two 2mm pearls over the Tila sized unit, I pick up 𝐷𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿, gem duo. I bead back through the second hole of the gem duo. As Angelica says, instant check, immediate check of the second hole of the gem duo, so it's wonderful. And after crossing the gem duo through its second hole, I pick up another 𝐷𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 and I bead through the 2mm pearl and around 15. And I repeat this 2 more times. So on the corner, I add 𝐷𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿, size 15 𝐷𝐿𝐿𝐿. And it seems, by the way, you might have noticed that my motif might not be entirely flat, but let's see later. So maybe I will need to attach it to a filigree. And that, I think, really depends also on the colors. Like in the past, I have never had a problem with this motif, so I'm a bit surprised that why did it start to wave for me. But let's see, how do we progress? And today, indeed, we have No One Has to Bead Alone, but next week we will have an offline No One Has to Bead Alone session with Ruxandra's design, as I'm going to travel to Slovakia together with Adam, and we are going to visit our families after the holidays. We were here in Amsterdam during the holidays to rest and to regain energy after the Advent season. And also our friends here, they feel like family, so we love spending time together with them. And so it comes a bit more handy to travel after the holidays when everything is a bit calmer. Airplane tickets are cheaper also, so today we have a No One Has to Bead Alone lesson, but next week we will have an offline one with Ruxandra's tutorial, still from the Celestial Lantern box. Tanja says I should eat more chocolate, and I think Tanja is right. We used to joke at the beginning that if a jewel is not staying flat as you want it to be, then eat more chocolate and sit on it. Gently sit on it. And now I finished adding the gem duos at the corners, and I bead until I will exit the first round 15 in the middle of a corner segment in between two delicas. I have a feeling that it will be all right because it started to lay more flat than before. So this is how it looks like at the moment for me. And how is it going for you, ladies? Do you have any questions about this part? And Angelica is asking if the 2mm pearls are different from Drax as noted in the original pattern. It's so good that you are asking, Angelica. I was for a long time confused about this actually, but when we were visiting the Czech Republic, then I actually asked one of our partners there, and he said that it's the same. Someone calls them Drax, someone calls them pearls when they are coated. Someone calls them pressed beads. It's always the same, actually. The pearls tend to have like a pearly finish, the nacre pearls. Sometimes the material itself is colored, but it always starts with a pressed glass bead, and then it has a nacre coating, or it has a different kind of effect applied to the base color, but it's pretty much the same. If there are no more questions, and hi Nicolene, then let's see what's happening in the next step. In the next step, we are going to add more seed beads, both sizes that we need for this tutorial, and the second color of the half tilas. You can of course also use the same color of the half tilas to keep the motif more unified if you would like to. So first, I will actually also bead through the Delica bead. Then I pick up a half tila and I bead through the first hole of the next gem duo. The half tila, it fits exactly into the gap. I love it when a bead fills the gap exactly. And now we add seed beads in between the two holes of the gem duos. And it will be a combination of around 15, 2 delicas, and 1 more round 15. So afterwards, after picking up these new beads, I bead only through the second hole of the gem duo, nothing else. And then again, half tila, and I bead through the so-called corner beads, so delica round 15 delica. And then again, half tila, sorry, half tila, and then I bead through the first hole of the gem duo. Over the gem duo, I add size 15 delica, size 15. Oh my god, 3 delica beads. Rachel is asking. Thank you so much, Rachel. I became a bit distracted because I see that time is passing fast. I talked a lot at the beginning. I apologize. Loretta also noticed. Indeed, 3 delicas. I apologize. We are human. We make mistakes. I slept enough after the New Year's Eve party, which for me lasted only until just after midnight. I'm not a big party girl, but still, I think I need to get back to my usual focus after the little break. So indeed, 3 delica beads and then a size 15. Thank you, lovelies, for being so attentive. So always, after I bead through the 3-corner beads, the Delica size 15 Delica, I pick up a half Tila and I bead through the gem duo, and then I pick up size 15 Delica, 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 size 15, and I bead through the second hole of the gem duo. Malia says, no raves for Erika, just Adam. Indeed, indeed. That is something that we don't, not a hobby that we would share. So, adding my seed beads with 3 Delicas. And then adding the half Tila. I'm now adding the last group of seed beads over the gem duo, the very last half Tila. And after adding the last half Tila, I bead through a Delica and around 15. So this is how it looks like at the moment. And let's see what's happening in the next step. We will now use the second holes of the newly added half Tilas, and we will need 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐂𝐄𝐑𝐈𝐿 size 11s for this part. So I'm exiting now the size 15 between the Delica, and here I will pick up 2 Delica beads and then bead through the outside hole of the next half Tila. After the half Tila, I pick up 1 Delica bead and I bead through the seed beads on top of the gem duo. Then again, Delica bead and into the outside hole of the next half Tila. And then I connect the outside hole of the half Tila to the size 15 sitting between the 2 Delica beads. And this is how I bead all around. So always 1 Delica bead between the outside hole of the half Tila and the seed beads over the gem duo. And always 2 Delica beads in between the outside hole of the half Tila and the size 15 that is sitting a bit deeper. Antoinette says, I think we all have hobbies we can't share, indeed, and I think it's also absolutely necessary to have hobbies with our closest ones that we don't share entirely, to like preserve our identities, like separate identities, and like even to just have an opportunity to share something exciting after one of us did something else. By the way, my motif became like nearly completely flat by this point, so I will not have to eat more chocolate, even if I have some really nice chocolate at home, but I intended to give it as a gift to my loved ones, so they are super lucky because I will not need to eat the chocolate to make the motif flat. And I finished adding the seed beads, and actually the main part of the motif is done now. And you will see in the PDF tutorial, it shows you how you can add, for example, a dagger bead or some kind of drop at the bottom. So you can totally personalize it. You can make it longer. It's also great, in my opinion, for a bracelet. You can also attach it to a ring or brooch base. So there are many, many, many different possibilities how you can use this. I would like to remind you, dear ladies, that in the Beading School Club, you can find a little gift for the community. So if I always like to stop for a little while, Beading school wise, and also for personal, kind of a personal evaluation of the previous year, and thinking what kind of direction I would like to take in the next one when it's around New Year's Eve time. And if you are on our news email list, then you might have gotten a pretty personal letter from me, and it told you how I was thinking this time, and how I would love to focus on creating abundance in my life and in the life of my loved ones, and in the lives of Beading School Beaders, of course, in 2025. And that's why when I designed the last jewel of 2024, I chose the name Abundance for it. And since one of the biggest gifts in my life is the Beading School community, and I really treasure all the times when I can browse through the jewels, when I can read your posts and comments, then I would like to dedicate this design to the members of the Beading School community. So if you navigate through the link, then that takes you not to the tutorial, but actually to the post in the group where you can find the gift code. So I would like to thank you for your kindness and for the atmosphere and the incredible value that you created in my life, thanks to the Beading School community. And I hope that soon I will see lots of abundance jewels beaded in the club. And let's always remember that the biggest thing that we can have in our lives is the abundance of love. And that is, even if like health, finances, and lots of other stuff, they are not under our control. But focusing on the positive things, creating light, and then attracting people who resonate with our kind of light, that is under our control, and we can create the abundance of love. So I can't wait to see your jewels like these. And also, while you are downloading then the tutorial, I would also like to to recommend to look through the new category of the Beading School, because besides the abundance tutorial, we also created abundance bags for 2025, and we stuffed them full with all kinds of inspiring high quality treasures from the Beading School treasury. So as you can see, we have a fuchsia one and a turquoise one waiting for you. I will pop here the links. And the fuchsia one, it contains goodies for like $39.99, but it costs only $19.99. And then the turquoise is costs $9.99, and but it has the value of $19.99. So it's really the best value we have ever had. Kristen asked if the turquoise level abundance is just part of what is included the fuchsia, or is it different? Are all the fuchsia level abundance bags generally the same? And dear Kristen, such a good question. They hold the same value, but they are different. So even two fuchsia abundance bags can differ, and fuchsia and turquoise differs. So it is really a surprise that what you will receive. And thank you so much, everyone, for your kind comments. And thank you so much for this nice start of the year. And I can't wait to meet you again on Tuesday. It will be like a beginning of the year coffee time with Erika on Tuesday. And on Thursday, there will be offline No One Has to Bead Alone. Lovely beaders. Thank you so much for today's beading session. Stay creative, stay open-minded, positive, and kind to yourselves and to each other. And see you in the Beading School Club. Bye-bye, everyone.